Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 4 of my 75 Hard challenge. I'm Fit Fanny, and today I'll be sharing how I got started with 75 Hard. I first learned about 75 Hard in July, after which I traveled for 3 weeks, and I launched on August 1st. Boom. But how? Before we jump into that, I'd like to go over my daily check-ins very quickly. So in terms of my workouts today, I have a 45-minute weight workout this morning. And this evening, I have an outdoor volleyball game. So that's my two 45-minute workouts. In terms of water, I'm chugging away over here, 6 glasses in, 10 to go. So far, so good on that. And by the way, my bloating and waterlog feeling is gradually diminishing. So very thankful for that. In terms of my diet, I'm on target with my plan, though I am struggling a bit when it comes to enough protein and fat. I've been pretty close with my protein so far. I'm not quite where I'd like to be with fat, but as a plant-based eater, my carbs are always much higher than my other macros. So it's all about pulling things into balance and making sure that I am fueling myself well for my daily adventures. In terms of reading, things are going great. I'm really loving A World Appears. I am through the introduction and I'm starting chapter 1 today. I can't wait. I think I need to start reading this during the day instead of at night because I'm so tired at night and I'm like struggling to get to 10 pages and I really want to keep reading. So I think maybe an afternoon interlude would be great so that I can devour the content with a little bit more energy. And lastly, in terms of photos, I've been taking one every day so far, not seeing too much of a change, but we're only a few days into this process, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so the meat and potatoes here. How did I get started with 75 Hard? Well, my first step was to get started. What? I know. How can I just get started without any prep? Fair question. But here's the bait and switch. This is a how-to video of sorts, but it's not really how-to steps. It's not the logistics prep. It's the psychological prep. And I'll be talking about a framework I recently learned about called ADZ, which was apparently coined by Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn. If you're anything like me, you might learn about something, a job opportunity, a new hobby, a potential new life pathway that is interesting, exciting, and that you feel very drawn to. But for whatever reason, before you get started, you talk yourself out of it. Or worse yet, you allow others to talk you out of it. Yeah, that happens to me a lot more than I care to admit. So that's where the ABZ framework comes in. The ABZ framework has 3 parts. I should be holding up my cards. The ABZ framework has 3 parts. See, I'm getting real professional here. A is the current reality, the starting point. So it's supposed to be an honest assessment of where you are right now in your life, in your career, in whatever it is that you're trying to make a change. B is the pivot. This is where you're implementing some sort of change or intervention or methodology. And these are the immediate actions that you take without needing to map out every single step along the way. You'll notice that I have a nice little repeating sign over the B, like the mathematical, number repeating thing, because the way that the ABZ framework describes B is that B is every step all the way until Z. So basically, B repeating stands for B through Y. And it's really any step, planned or unplanned, that you take on the way to Z, which is your ultimate goal. So this is your long-term destination. Whether you know what that destination is or not, it's subject to change. So you might have a very clear plan of where you're headed, and that repeating B could be a meandering way to that particular end goal. Or if you're like me and you don't really know where you're headed, that Z destination might be subject to change, and it is something that you might find along that repeating B journey. I haven't read in detail Reid Hoffman's take on ABZ. I actually didn't learn about this directly from him, but from a little bit of the research that I've done, I see that another way of looking at that Z is it could be your lifeboat or your fallback should the goal not work out. So you might think of it as I'm shooting for this thing, I don't get there, but this is whatever I end up getting instead. Still open to flexibility and open to interpretation. Often, getting started can feel daunting since we're worried about everything that can go wrong along the way. But when we realize that the final destination can be built as we go, just getting started without too much fuss can be a great first step. Getting everything in order, drawing up a detailed plan, purchasing supplies, tell everyone we know all about whatever it is we're doing, these can be great, but they also carry risk. What happens when a barrier comes up? Your plan gets foiled, or you don't have the money to buy the supplies that you need, or the people in your life push back or make fun of you for whatever it is that you think that you'd like to do. So sometimes I just need to jump. After I learned about 75 Hard, I spent no more than 30 minutes researching it to learn about its components, asked my partner to join me, set the start date, and went for it. Of course, you know yourself best. You might know that you couldn't possibly dive into anything. And if that's your case, I encourage you to interrogate that a little bit. Sounds a little control to me. And I say that from a place of, I might know a little bit about that. If that's you and you can't just dive in, plan away. I still think that programs like this have value and are worth it. But in this case, and for me, I did minimal planning, dove in, and continue to plan day by day alongside of my 75 Hard activities. One quick caveat, neurodivergence. I'm multiply neurodivergent. And luckily for me, that comes along with a certain impulsivity. Not impulsivity, newness and innovation and creative ideas. And the ability to follow through and not get frustrated with when resistance comes up can be really challenging for me. And this all relates back to my 75 Hard why. So if you're interested in learning more about my why specifically, check out my day 1 video. So now, day 4, here I am. I am in my B repeating phase. Each day is a new day, a fresh start that gives me that sort of like new and kind of exciting vibe that really pulls me through. And I have to keep recommitting to this plan over and over, which is a bit challenging. But what is most important of all is that I already have made this commitment. I'm already in it. I'm already doing this thing. I don't really know what my long-term goal is, as I alluded to before, aside from improving my mental toughness, my self-trust, and my decision-making overall. I'm really trying to allow this B repeating phase to simmer a bit and see what might bubble up for my Z phase. Maybe it'll be some sort of higher fitness goal. Maybe I will finally tackle my enormous student loan debt. Perhaps I'll create a new professional pathway that allows me to learn and innovate and thrive and have fun. I guess we'll see. But I'm on my way in my process, and that already feels like a huge accomplishment. Nevertheless, when I recently learned about the ABZ framework, something clicked and things suddenly made a lot more sense. Whether 75 hard or something else nagging at you, I hope this video inspires action in any form. Share in the comments below what in your life you've been hesitating to take action on. Thank you so much for following along. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos. I'll see you tomorrow for day 5. Oh, and by the way, I've been failing to mention it in my videos. I'm new here on YouTube, like 4 or 5 days new. A like, a subscribe, or a comment would go a long way. Please and thank you.